everybody. This is Alvin J, the most passionate non-doctor on the internet. Today, we're going to talk to you about your eyeballs. That's right. We're going to talk to you about the most sensitive tissue inside of your body, and that is your eyes. It's the first tissue to disintegrate when you die. Therefore, we got to keep it healthy. But first, there's a young lady who actually asked me to do this video. It was the next one on my list. She beat me to it. All right. Her name is Melina Tesfaye, all right, and all the way from Germany, all right, who would have thought, all right, but she has actually watched a lot of my videos, and I have to say, Melina, thank you. All right, now, I'm going to get into this video because I want her to have better vision and you too. Now, sometimes, I got to say, you guys look absolutely fantastic in your glasses. Some people, it's a fashion statement, all right? You guys are wearing these, pairing it with outfits, different kinds of frames, different colors. My goodness. I mean, it's actually looking good out there in the glasses, but sometimes you just want to go to the gym and not wear glasses. Sometimes you just want to hop in the car, get some milk, and not wear glasses. So, sometimes you just want to get to a street that you were supposed to turn at and see it before you missed it. All right, so that's what we want to try to rectify today in this one. Now, let's start off. I'm a holistic guy, so I'm going to bring you the most holistic ways possible. I call it holism, all right? Not holistic medicine. I don't like the word medicine. Holism, let's call it that. All right, now, first of all, we got to do something to improve the health of the eye. Now, you guys probably know the most obvious one. Let me bring it up for you, all right? How about this thing? You all know what this is, all right? No, it's not something you beat your kids with, all right? This is a carrot, all right? So this has something in it called beta carotene and traces of vitamin A. Only traces because I want you to actually take, all right, a supplement of vitamin A. So got this from Sprouts Markets. It's in a lot of markets around the United States, so I'm not sure about other countries, but you need a natural form of vitamin A so that you can absorb it into the bloodstream to get what's missing from this, okay? Now, this carrot, all right? This thing here is kind of hard to digest, okay? It's mostly fiber. In order to get the nutrients out of it that you need for your eye health, you're actually going to have to blend this thing down. Now, I have a NutriBullet, all right? You can have a Nutri-Ninja. Doesn't matter. As long as you just break this down. Now, from an economic standpoint, I recommend a NutriBullet or a Nutri-Ninja because if you actually have a real juice machine, it takes about 15 of these to make 1 glass of juice. Whereas with a NutriBullet, it only takes 1 to 3 of these, along with a little bit of water, to actually create a glass of juice, all right? Much more cost effective, I would say. Okay, so get your carrots. All right, now let's get to some of the more serious things that are going to help you with your eyeballs. Now, I am actually going to have you guys do this. That is in through the nose, out through the mouth. Now, why do we have you do that? It's the most efficient way of breathing, all right? So, when you do that, you shoot air down to your lungs and therefore it gets into your bloodstream more quickly and with much more volume, thus helping your eye tissue. Remember, eye tissue is the most sensitive tissue in your body, therefore it needs nutrients a lot of the time. Now, how do you know if your eyes are deficient in nutrients? Well, if your eyes are bloodshot and you haven't been drinking too much, partying too much, hardcore drugs, all right, or about to go to sleep, for those reasons, your eyes might be red, okay, and it's not natural. However, if your eyes are red most of the day and you haven't been doing any of those things, there could be a problem there, and usually when you see bloodshot eyes, that is called vascularization, and blood vessels are actually trying to get more oxygen to the eye tissue, thus they become bloodshot, okay? So what we say is bloodshot is actually blood vessels, all right? Now, when we actually do the breathing, all right, that's going to be one of the main staples. Don't think it's concentrating or targeting one part of your body. You are a whole being, thus holism. Therefore, we got to treat the whole thing. Thus, breathing is going to treat your whole body, not just your eyeballs. All right, let's get to the next point here. All right, now, first of all, I'm going to have you do something called rolling. This is just a general thing to keep your oblique muscles of your eye strong. All right, the muscles on top of your eye and the muscles on the side of your eye, those muscles are actually what we call obliques, and they allow you to roll your eyes. All right, now don't do that to your mama. You might get your ass kicked. Okay, so don't do it to your daddy either. You might get punched in the chest. All right, so don't roll your eyes at your parents, but you roll them for exercise so that you can keep from getting something called lazy eye. It's called strabismus. All right, and that lazy eye, when you get older, more and more likely to happen because all of your muscles start to atrophy as you get up there in age. So we're not going to concentrate on that too much because oblique muscles don't have much to do with your vision. Okay, the muscles that have to do with your vision are called ciliary muscles, and they're inside of your eye, and they actually pull your lens. So if you need to see further away, you stretch out those muscles and they pull your lens, making it more oblong so you can see greater distances. If you want to see up close, you would actually relax those ciliary muscles, and then you can see up close. Okay, so that's the way it actually works. That's how the muscles inside of your eye actually work. So the first exercise I'm going to have you guys do, besides the rolling the eyes, is something called a distance exercise. All right, so we're going to call it distance vision. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to take a piece of paper with black and white letters on it, preferably a book. Okay, you're going to look at the text, all right, and try to make sure it's crystal clear. And then you're going to look at something about 5 to 6 feet away from you, and you're going to look at this for 3 seconds. You're going to look at that for 3 seconds. Look at this for 3 seconds. Look at that for 3 seconds. Holding and seeing, can you get clear, 3 seconds each. All right, once you have, and you can get both of them clear, we want you to move to 10 feet away. All right, so 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds. Is it clear? Not quite. It's clear. Both are clear. All right, and then you're going to do it to 20 feet. All right, so 3 seconds, 3 seconds, all the way to 50 feet. All right, now when you can do 3 seconds and 3 seconds at 50 feet and both are clear, all right, that means that you are going to see some tremendous improvements in your vision. Okay, that's going to help you get rid of your glasses. Now, when you get good at the 50 feet, there's not going to be too many places in your house that you can look that you cannot focus on. So what you're going to have to do is either look out a window and do it with the paper, or take the paper outside and start looking at structures that are a lot further away. All right, so just work your way out, clear, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, and see, can you get all of them clear? Now, when you're driving up the street and your street comes up and you're just like, damn, you got to make a U-turn. Instead of that, 100 yards away, you can say, oh, there's Pecos right there. Let's make a left. All right. That's what we're trying to do with this vision thing to help you improve your vision. Now, I'm going to have you, and I'm going to take you all the way to one of the ultimate tips you will ever hear about your eyes. And it sounds like the strangest thing ever. You need to charge your eyeballs. Okay. People are like, what? You want me to stick my cell phone charger into my eye? I didn't say that. Stop being ridiculous, okay? All right, if multiple of you are being ridiculous, I call that ridiculi. All right, so this is what I want you to do. Most powerful tip, okay? If you do this, okay, it's going to work. I want you to do something called sun gazing. And sun gazing is when you actually take, all right, and you're going to gaze at the sun. Now, if you try to do this just right off the bat and you look at the sun, what's going to happen? Your eyes, in about a split second, your eyes are going to close and you're saying, no, I'm not doing that. All right, but this is what I want you to do. I got a studio light right here. This is what I'm going to simulate. All right, this is going to look something like a 70s dance, okay? So this is what you do. You're going to take your fingers, put them in front of your face, okay, and you're going to do this. This is going to cause a strobing effect. So when you do it at the light, it's going to cause a strobing effect. You can do it this way, okay? It's just your little dance. You can do it this way. All right, so, but after about 30 to 45 seconds, what I want you to do is, after you do it, take your hands away and just look at the sun, and you'll notice that you can look at the sun directly for maybe 10, 15, 30 seconds. I can do it for a few minutes now because I'm used to it. All right, so, and I gotta tell you, after you get through looking at the sun and you're looking up and you can't take it anymore, you're at 30 seconds, you're like, oh, don't just start looking around, because everything you look at will have an orange dot right in the middle of it. So what you want to do is, you want to, as soon as you stop looking at the sun, I'm going to have you do another phenomenon called shading. So as soon as you stop looking at the sun, you can't take it anymore, take both of your hands and put them over your eyes and tight. All right, really tight, and you're gonna hold this for 30 to 45 seconds. Now I can see the orange dot, and when I see the orange dot, what's gonna happen is now everything starts to turn orange, and leave it there and make sure everything is orange before you take your hands away, and you'll notice that you'll see a whole bunch of sparkly lights and little strobes, and all of a sudden your vision is all filled up with them, and now you can slowly let go, and when you open your eyes, you'll notice the orange spot is not there, and Oh my goodness, everything is crystal clear. You can see everything. Just by doing this 1 minute, one day, you can correct and improve your vision for 1 to 3 years. It is a powerful strategy when you do this, okay? 1 to 3 years, you may not have to wear glasses, okay? Just from doing this 1 minute, one day, deep breathing, doing your distance exercises, and then sun gazing once in the year. All right, I do it more than that because I'm a psycho. All right, but I find it fun to do that, so I just do it more often. Okay, and it does really increase and improve my vision. Okay, so last thing we got to do is tell you and warn you about contacts and glasses. Okay, now I know the people that these are smart people. All right, I know the people at the optical clinics and the people at the hospital. They want to give you a prescription so that they're helping you improve your vision so you can see. All right, really the objective is to sell you glasses. Okay, but this is the problem. Every time you get a prescription and you get your prescription strengthened, it is making your eyes weaker and weaker because you're putting a clear refractive surface right in front of your eyes, and what's going to happen? That refractive surface is actually bending the light for you, something that your lens on the inside of your eye would have done. Therefore, if you put that right in front of your eyeball, now your ciliary muscles that are supposed to manipulate in order for you to see and refract that light automatically has it done by your glasses, and now your muscles atrophy. Remember, if you don't use it, you lose it, and that includes your eyes. So I gotta tell you, if you keep on going that way, what's gonna happen is the older you get and the more often you upgrade your prescription, your glass is gonna become thicker and thicker and thicker until you're wearing the thickest glasses possible that look like need I say anything else? All right, so that's it for me today. Hopefully these tips you will use and let me know if they work for you. Just write some comments on the bottom of this video or go to the website and do your comments there. But I'm going to have this all written out for you on my website if you guys want to see everything step by step or whatever. So I'll talk to you later. Please feel free to keep yourself out of the hospital, okay? Remember what I said. You don't get better in there. You get worse coming out. Take care of yourself. See can you find some things like these videos that actually work for you. Try them out and see does it actually help you. I'll talk to you later. This is Alvin J, the most passionate non-doctor on the internet. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. I can see you. Maybe I can't.